Hello, I am Vani Maradi, Law Faculty from Vignaneshwar Government Law College, Martur, Kalburgi. I handle Contract 2 subject for second semester 3 years LLB course. So we have covered indemnity guarantee, what contract is in the previous classes. Today we will discuss about the Sale of Goods Act 1930. So earlier, Sale of Goods Act was part of contract, that is from section 75 to 124 was about sale of goods, but now it has been separated from contract 2 and made, that is Indian Contract Act 1972, and is made a separate act called as Contract Sale of Goods Act 1930. So in Sale of Goods Act, we come across concepts like buyer, seller, delivery, goods. So buyer is a person who purchases the goods, the seller is a person who sells the goods, then delivery is, that is voluntary transfer of goods from seller to the buyer. Then let us see what goods is. So goods means there are two types of goods. One is movable goods and other one is immobile goods. Movable goods are covered by Sale of Goods Act 1930, whereas immobile goods are covered by Transfer of Property Act 19 and Transfer of Property Act. So Transfer of Property Act excludes from its purview of immobile property certain goods like growing crops, timber and grass, which are covered under Sale of Goods Act 1930. So other than these, the goods in Sale of Goods Act include electricity, gas, patent, copyright, trademark, all such aspects. Even the old currency notes are covered as goods within the concept, within the Sale of Goods Act, because the reason is they are not in usage at present. That is the reason. So another thing we need to know in Sale of Goods Act is about formation of contract of sale of goods. So in formation of contract of sale of goods, certain elements have to be uh, fulfilled, means covered, for this to take place. So the first thing is sale and agreement to sell. So let us see what is sale and what is agreement to sell. So sale means transfer of goods by seller to the buyer, or wherein seller agrees to transfer the goods to the buyer for price. This is what sale is. Whereas agreement to sell, SELL. So whereas in agreement to sell, so what is required is offer and acceptance is required. So the seller has to offer to transfer the goods and the buyer has to accept the offer. When there is offer and acceptance present, it results in agreement to sell. So this can be absolute or conditional. So absolute sale is a sale wherein there is transfer of goods by seller to the buyer for price, whereas in agreement to sell it may be subject to certain conditions, fulfillment of conditions. So this fulfillment of conditions may come to an end by elapse of time or by fulfillment of the conditions. So another thing that we need to understand regarding the formation of contract of sale of goods is subject matter of contract of sale of goods. The subject matter of contract of sale of goods is two things. One is existing goods and the other one is future goods. So existing goods are goods that are owned and possessed by the seller at the time of selling it, whereas future goods, they happen depending upon the contingent of an event, depending upon the contingency. So as you all know, contingency means it depends upon the happening of the event. So like this, for uh, for formation of contract, subject matter of contract is necessary, which includes existing goods and future goods. So then we need to have performance of contract. So when we have subject matter, it has to be performed. How performance of contract of sale of goods is done? So for the performance of contract, it can be in writing or it can be by word of mouth, that is oral, partly in writing or partly oral, or implied by the conduct of the parties. So this is how performance of contract is done. Then coming on to the ascertainment of price. So how price is ascertained in the contract of sale of goods? So to ascertain the price, it is done either in the course of dealing between the parties, it is determined by the parties, or it is fixed in the contract itself. So sometimes it is ascertained, price is ascertained by the valuation of third parties. They determine and fix the price. So if they do not determine or fix the price, under such circumstances, what actually happens is, it the buyer has to give the reasonable price. The reasonable price includes that which depends upon the facts and circumstances of the case. So then the next thing that we need to take note of in formation of contract, that is of sale of goods, is goods perishing before sale but after agreement to sell. So what happens if the goods which the buyer is supposed to purchase perishes before sale but after agreement to sell? So under such circumstances, the risk is upon the buyer. Okay, this is one thing. Then the next thing is, in formation of contract that we need to take note of is about conditions and warranties. So these conditions and warranties, they are the stipulations in the contract about the goods. So if conditions, stipulation of conditions, they are necessary for the main purpose of the contract. If the conditions are not, stipulated conditions are not fulfilled, under such circumstances, the party has got the right to treat such contract as repudiated. So he may reject the goods, he may repudiate the contract. But whereas in case of stipulation of warranties, if that is not fulfilled, under such circumstances, the party has got the right to claim damages. He cannot reject the goods or he cannot repudiate the contract, but what can be done is he can claim for damages. So this is another thing that we need to take note of in formation of contract. Then we have sale by description and sale by sample. So sale by description is, here they go by the terms and conditions, and in the terms and conditions of the contract, whatever descriptions have been made, whether they have been complied with, fulfilled or not. And then if it is sample, they practically take the sample, test it, and then go for it. So like this, if all these elements are present, then formation of contract of sale of goods takes place. In the next class, let us discuss about the effects of the contract. Thank you.